Good evening. Last meeting, we saw the preaching of Stephen. On the following day, as usual, Saul of Tarsus entered Zechariah's house. We shall fight the enemy, said Saul to Abigail, who threatens the authenticity of the divine revelation, exclaimed Saul, and I will not cede ground to these uneducated and fraudulent innovators. So Abigail asks to him, as he described the, the day before, and the preaching of Stephen. Abigail asked, are there many of these men? Yes, said Saul. And what is more dangerous is that they mask their intentions behind pious deeds with witchcraft. So, so imagines that the followers of Christ they were deceiving people with witchcraft, and they did not do the beautiful things they said. In any case, advised the girl, it is better to avoid abusing authority. You see, she, Abigail, although very young, has a profound spiritual maturity. Today, we and through history of humankind, abuse of authority has been has been a very difficult uh, desire to deal by the governors and those one who have power. And here, Saul has the power to persecute those people. And she gives now the lines that will uh, command the criminal law only 1,700 years later, after the Illuminism in the eighth century. Yes, she says, who knows, they might be more in need of education rather than punishment. Education is the basis of the divine law. Sometimes we suffer the problems that, in our lives to understand what other people suffer, and to sometimes we don't know that, and sometimes we suffer because we did in the past other people suffer by our hands, or by our orders, or by our mental behavior. Mental behavior, we say the ordering or abusing people of, so we now must definitively know that even we if we don't know the law, we will have the effects. For example, if you have a person that lives in China and doesn't believe in God, and this person has many employees, many workers. If that person explores those workers to cause them to a suffering of health and abusing them, probably he will suffer in another life uh, similar consequences of abusing people. We summarize them. If the person doesn't know the concept of God, even though what the person does in his or her life, he will have the fruits in the future, in this reincarnation or in another life. Yes, however, that so I will have to restrict their preacher, whose lips are dripping a powerful venom. You see, it so has the intention here to to make that Stephen uh, change his words, or if he won't change his words, he stay in silence. It's a very clear intention from Saul in this moment. A few days later, arrangements were made. Owing to Gamaliel, the preacher of the new interpretation would come before the highest court of the Jewish race to clarify points of view. So Stephen would go to the Sanhedrin to clarify the points that they would like. You see, this was the initial point to be proposed by the Sanhedrin. The invitation arrived at the humble church, but Stephen refused it. That dispute will not be in accordance with the master's teachings, thought Stephen. So could not force his antagonist because the Sanhedrin could only employ compulsory means, we say force, in the case of a public denouncement of blasphemer or slanderer. Yes, only if Stephen would be accused to be a blasphemer or a slanderer, the Sanhedrin could uh, obligate him to go there. Due to Stephen's repeated refusals, the doctor from Tarsus became exasperated. So he engineered an elaborated plan to humiliate Stephen before all in the highest court of Judaism. So called Nehemiah, one of official's friends, and told to him, I need someone to accuse Stephen as a blasphemer before the law. That's it? Asked Nehemiah. Didn't I hear him, Stephen, saying that the crucified carpenter is the foundation of the divine truth? That is more than blasphemy. It's very easy. On the following day, Nehemiah denounced the kindly preacher of the gospel as a blasphemy, blasphemer, as a blasphemer. Yes, that's right. And he affirmed he had witnessed manual sorcery witchcraft practiced by Stephen to harm of others. The news exploded in the church of the way. But Stephen, together with Simon Peter and John, remained completely composed, receiving with high spirits the order to bravely answer the bell. Full of hope, Stephen prayed to Jesus not to forsake him so that he could bear witness to the richness of his evangelical faith. Stephen awaited the event with faithfulness and joy. So we end the chapter 5. Let's give a pause.
Yeah, they try to make a trap for him, right?
Yes,
Like they did for Jesus. So
yes. Please, we ask to do a pause now. So before beginning the next chapter,